Hello guys, let's talk a bit about the perfection, tendency and need to control our life, to manifest something perfect, to manifest exactly the situation, the environment, the people, the interaction, the kind of relationship that we want, the work that we want, the activity that we want. This tendency to try to force our life to be exactly as we want, our external life. Let's contemplate on this because I felt this. I tried to do this in my life, to force things to be as I wanted, to go in my way. And this pushing, actually, first it was creating tension, problems, stress, anxiety in me. Second, it was always failing. One way or another, the external situation was failing. What I wanted was not manifested 100%. Someone would do something unexpected, or what I wanted would be manifested for a while, and after some time, this would disappear, or directly I would make a mistake, and what I wanted wouldn't appear, wouldn't manifest it in my life. Of course, all this would take me to feel a lot of frustration, anger, sometimes towards myself, sometimes towards others, towards life, and blah blah blah. Like this, I was living like 25 years of my life fighting with this world. And when some part of this fight I wanted to share with you is legit, is authentic, because in us there is a true longing for perfection. There is a true longing to experience perfection. And I wanted to share with you that one of the most beautiful realizations of my life was that this longing was not wrong. Because for some time in my life I was judging myself. Come on, you should not be so perfectionist. Come on, you should relax and not to push so much. Or I would tell to myself, come on, perfection doesn't exist. And when I entered in my spiritual path, I realized that actually this was wrong, that there is a perfection, there is a perfect absolute state, that actually it was something existential that my soul was asking for this perfection, for this absolute. But the problem, and this was the thing, the problem is that this perfect state cannot be manifested in this material world. And this was the biggest realization, probably the biggest realization of all my life, when I could see clearly that this calling towards perfection and absolute was not inviting me to manifest it externally, but to do it internally. And I wanted to tell you this today, that you are able to host and receive the absolute, the perfection within yourself. And you are able to experience perfect joy, perfect unconditional love, perfect freedom, perfect enthusiasm. You are able to experience this. And I'm sure you had experiences of being in this state, at least for a while. That the state, this energy takes over you, and everything, including your perceptions of your feelings, your sensations, they are just a full expression of this experience. The problem is when we project this high, very high state, and we want to manifest it in the material world. Why is this a problem? Because the material world is not like you. The material world cannot hold the absolute and the perfection within. It can represent it for a while, but it will always something will happen, and this inner perfection that we experience inside, it won't be fully manifested externally. Externally, things will fail, things will crash, and so on. So this is a very important realization to see that you can experience this absolute and this infinite space inside this absolute archetype, but you cannot manifest it in this world. That's why when we think that we suffer, we get stressed, we fall in control dynamics and very aggressive dynamics towards ourselves and others. But now what this means, it means that we should do nothing in this world because the highest cannot be manifested in this world. No, actually, this means that we need to learn to live in a different way. And this is the message I want to bring you today. To live in a way in which we don't try to manifest our inner state externally 100%, but I will call it a ritualistic way. Understanding that everything that we are doing in this life externally and everything that we manifest, everything that we try, is part of a ritual to connect you internally with this absolute state. And that's why the element of rituals, they are so important, and that's why we use them all the time in the shamanic path or in the yogi path or in any spiritual path that you may find. You will have rituals. What are the rituals? The rituals, some people sometimes they ask, what is a ritual? You will kill an animal, you will make some sacrifice. No, actually, a ritual is the way we should live our life, which is like this. In a ritual, we do external things. For instance, you can make a fire, or you can take a drum and you can light some candles and you can prepare an altar with amulets. And you can sit and put your hands in the prayer and you can pray, or you can do some asanas, some yoga. You do everything externally, there is a protocol. There is a protocol. But in the same time, internally, you are very aware that you are doing all these things. You are very aware. This is the essence of the ritual. Externally, you are doing something, while internally, the intention you project it to something very high, the highest for you. God, the universe, life. Or in shamanism, we connect with the spirits of freedom, spirit of power, spirit of love. So while you do some external things, moving with objects, with the drum, with different elements, internally you are tuned into the highest, which gives you the recognition that the only place where you can manifest and experience this absolute is inside yourself. And yes, we use external world. The problem is when we give too much attention to the drum, or too much attention to the asanas, and too much attention to the actual physical material thing that we are doing in our life, and we lose the connection with why we do what we do, and we get lost in trying to manifest the perfection in the material world, which is impossible. And of course, trying something impossible, it will take us to experience conflict and pain. It is inevitable. We will end up there. So there is this other way to live, which is having a life in which you are your whole life is a ritual, and externally you try to manifest as much as possible something that represents the highest that is in you. And through this ritualistic way of life, more and more you will manifest and crystallize this internally in yourself, this absolute joy, absolute well-being, absolute unconditional love, absolute freedom. Inside yourself is the only way where this can be manifested. If you want to learn more about something awakes with you with this discussion, and you want to know more how to live your life in a way that is meaningful and that is directing you to a very high place, you need to learn, and it's very important, how to do rituals in your life. At the point that first you can start with small rituals in the morning, in the afternoon, and like this may grow until your whole life will become a ritual. You will do externally things, but you will remember always you are doing for something that is highest. This is what we are all the time. The way I learned this, it was not through a book or I don't know, or a teaching. I learned this through the retreats with my teacher, my spiritual teacher, through those sense of retreats that we did all over the world. In these retreats, sometimes they were 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We were all the time living in this way. In these retreats, the experience you enter in the experience in which everything that we are doing is a ritual. For instance, if we go for a pilgrimage to the top of a mountain, we are walking, we are doing exercise externally, but in the beginning we would connect with an intention, we put strong intention. So all this that we are doing is a ritual. Or for instance, we would visit a power place, let's say, in some of our trips. In this power place, we would arrive, we will sit, maybe there is a stone or a cave, or there is a small river, we will sit there. But again, everything that we will do in this place would be for our intention, and maybe we will connect with the spirit of the river, which is the spirit of water, flexibility, emotion, passion. And we are not focused what we do externally. We do externally things, but our attention always is directed to a very high place. When you learn to live in this way, being aware and conscious and active externally, but when using your attention always directed to a very high inspirational space, like this, your whole life becomes a ritual. And in this experience, what you want to manifest, this perfect state, it will be manifested, but within yourself, and you won't have dependencies or attachments or neediness. I need to be with this person to feel love. I need to have this bank account to feel safe. I need to have this nice car to feel courageous and valuable. Like this perfect state of safety, love, and power will grow within yourself. This is the path to the absolute, and is the path to perfection, and it's not a path that can happen externally. I wanted to share this with you because it was one of the most beautiful contemplations I was having I had within myself for during the last years, and it was the most actually it was the most powerful contemplation, the one that changed fully the way I was living. If you want to learn about how to embody the life of the ritual, I invite you to check our retreats. Very soon we will go to Tibet in July, and we'll be in April, May we'll visit Peru, and then a very powerful pilgrimage of 3 weeks. And in June we will have a spiritual adventure of 1 week in Poland, in the mountains. All these retreats are very beautiful and powerful, in powerful places, in places of power. But the most important is how we live in this how we do the everyday life in these retreats, which teach you a new way to live your life that is totally different of what everyone else is doing. So like this, you can learn from this experience how you can transform your life to become a ritual in the name of the highest, and how you can embody this new way of life that actually this will be what will bring transformation that you are looking for, and what will bring this will bring the real manifestation that you are looking for, which is will happen within yourself. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.